has made a name for herself by promoting body positivity, and not only that, but the intersectionality between being a person of colour and somebody who is plus size. She also promotes empowerment of women and the LGBT community. So a lot of this stuff seems to go against the core of who she is.
This seems bad. I don't know. I don't want to dogpile her for everything. I'm sure she's great. Her in Barbie, she was hilarious in Barbie. Is that, the song is Barbie's Waking Up? Hilarious. I love Lizzo. I did. I don't now.
It's the nature of celebrity. That's the nature of fame. It is capitalism. It's a corporation. It's a machine. These people are created.
Well, I don't know if anyone's told you this yet, but Toronto is going through a major housing crisis. And I need a place to stay. I had my eyes on the Barbie dream house. So, what is the going rate for a room?
In the time leading up to seeing Greta Gerwig's Barbie, I saw a promotional video where Ryan Gosling was being interviewed at some press event, and he tells us, "Whatever you think this movie is, it's not that." Ironic, since I remember thinking I hadn't a clue what a Barbie movie could be about. So what in the hell did he mean by that? What form could a big-budget, toy company-produced summer blockbuster, written and directed by an indie it girl gradually gaining serious director cred, possibly take? Contrary to Gosling's assertion, the answer is quite natural. Barbie is an extravagant, star-studded, richly detailed pop cinema construction, passed through the filters of the kind of Gen X, ironic comedy/comedic irony typically found in the works of Gerwig, her partner and co-writer Noah Baumbach, and their collaborators and contemporaries like Wes Anderson and Joe Swanson. It's also a movie which uses the well-known pink and plastic image of Barbie as a launchpad for social commentary to varying success.
I love women. I want to help women.
Oh, come off it. Everybody hates women. Women hate women and men hate women. It's the one thing we can all agree on.
Is that true?
And if the hordes of fans showing up to the theaters in planned outfits is evidence of anything, it's a movie that seems to be striking a chord. But what is it actually about? The story kicks off when the Barbiest of all Barbies, Margot Robbie, blurts out to her own surprise and to everyone's horror, existential musings right in the middle of an intricately choreographed dance party. The shock of it all is legitimately hilarious, happening as it does against a lavish backdrop, the homoerotic rivalry between the Kens, Ryan Gosling and Simu Liu, and the cloying optimism and extroversion of the Barbies' exchanges.
This night is just perfect. It's perfectly perfect. And you look so beautiful, Barbie. Thanks, Barbie. I feel so beautiful. So do I.
This is the best day ever.
It is the best day ever, and so is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and so is the day after.
Soon after, Barbie realizes not all is right in Barbie Land, and she learns from Weird Barbie, a doll that was treated by its owner a little too roughly, and who's played by Kate McKinnon as a confusing mix of social outcast, military commander, and spiritual healer, that the troubles plaguing her can be fixed by venturing to the real world and reconnecting with her owner. Forever pining after Barbie is Ken, who crashes her adventure, sneaking into the back of her Barbie-mobile and convincing her to let him join. They travel to the nexus between Barbie world and the real world, Venice Beach, and we follow them as they struggle to understand the rules and social dynamics of a world so different from their own. These early scenes are delightful. There's a surprising amount of comedy wrung out from these hopelessly positive and self-assured toys failing to understand sexual innuendos or how money works. This will be the best form Gerwig and Baumbach satire ever takes, using this simple setup as a way to make pointed jabs at our cynical and patriarchal society. Around the time Barbie actually meets and is rebuffed by the girl she's been looking for, Ariana Greenblatt, and then serendipitously teams up with the girl's mother, America Ferrera. Another plot thread develops, wherein the CEO of Mattel, Will Ferrell, and his executive team are desperate to cover up Barbie's emergence into the real world. Both of these plotlines, however, will ultimately fall away to a third: Ken's new infatuation with male power, and his return to Barbie Land to stage a takeover. Again, it's quite funny how Ken learns all the wrong lessons from our society, and how he fashions himself after the dumbest male tropes. But it's at this point the film seems to lose track of where it is in the allegory and satire. That is, it becomes seriously muddled what relation this setup between Barbie world and the real world of the film, and the actual real world, is supposed to bear. Perhaps it's asking too much of a feel-good summer splash about a children's toy to explain itself with more conceptual depth. But it seems warranted when the movie itself at least bears the appearance of engaging critically with society and politics. There are lines about deprogramming the Barbies who become servants to the Kens, and others that essentially taunt the hypothetical male viewer. How would you like it if we didn't allow any men in the Supreme Court? which given where we are in the allegory are legitimately confusing. Are Barbies especially susceptible to manipulation because they're naively idealistic? Does Barbie Land represent a kind of ideal world, or instead a sort of premature state of nature? Are we actually suggesting that by simply replacing men in power with women, that the structures of power we've been critiquing this whole time are going to go away? Is the manic repression of introversion and negative feeling in Barbie world a part of that idealistic picture? The movie comes close to self-aware social analysis when, for instance, Sasha accuses Barbie of using female empowerment as a mere marketing tool, or when the CEO of Mattel, in a boardroom full of only men, boasts that the office has gender-neutral washrooms up the wazoo. But it stops just short of pointing out the real, insidious problem, when products, such as this movie itself, are content to wear the trappings of feminism in order to simultaneously further the ends of patriarchal consumer capitalist society. This superficial Instagram feminist program reaches its apogee in a third-act monologue delivered by Ferreira. When I was in the completely packed theater, you could hear a pin drop. The audience was so silently captivated. People were in tears afterwards. I imagine this will be the deciding moment for many viewers. And there's no question that something deep was decided for the viewers in that theater. One way or another, this moment shows Gerwig's ability to speak to those viewers personally, and to the unique pressures that burden young women. And for the viewer, maybe the question is simply whether that's enough. Or, enough.